that's who. Who put all this shit together, bitch? Me, that's who.
Yeah, man, most definitely, because they allowed the place to get to this point, because a lot of the madness that you see taking place, yeah, it didn't happen overnight. So when you see a man do something stupid or whatever the case may be, that was something that he may have built up to over 10 years. So a man don't just come outside and do something daft in an instant. You know what I mean? It was something that had built up over years. And what I'm saying, the problems of society today have been building over decades in the UK. Let's keep it real. The problems of today have been building over decades. So what I'm saying is, it's quite easy for them to stamp out a lot of these issues, you know. Because when we talk about things like, even down to the watch robbery that we spoke about on Thursday, even when you look at something like that, that's an easy fix. That's an easy fix, Noble, because you know all you have to do? You know all you have to do? Is say mandatory 25 years, but they can't do that because they haven't got enough facilities to be able to house all these prisoners.
Of course.
So what you do is like what you said, Noble. You put the prisoners to unskilled labor.
This is it. Come on.
Unskilled labor. Make it so that a man knows to himself, yo, I don't want to even entertain that again. Because back in the day, do you remember isolation in school? Did that come in when you was in school?
But they call it detention.
Remember isolation? You had detention, 20 minutes. Then you had isolation. Do you remember that? I was in year 8 when it came in. And basically, for those who may not know, or what they did is, in school, my school, Edmund Campion in Erdington, there was a time where like there was beer man that with us moving mad. Teachers couldn't tell them nothing. You see what I mean? Till we even had Ofsted come in. Ofsted had to come in. That's how mad it was. Teachers couldn't tell man nothing. We actually had mentors, you know, in our school, where someone would come in and just sit with that particular problematic child. They tried everything. And in the end, they brought in this thing called isolation. And what isolation was is, after a certain amount of trouble, what they'd do is they'd remove you from the class and they'd put children in isolation in the hall.
Okay.
So what would happen is, the hall would have like 10 children in there who had been problematic in their class. Those children wouldn't join assembly. Those children would only, at lunchtime, they would get their lunch and bring it back into the hall. That was it. There was no playing outside. There was none of that. After about, say, the first week of isolation, the hall was full. You know, by say the 3rd, 4th week, there might have been 3-4 people in there. That's how my school cleaned it up. Because nobody wanted to be in there, because you know, when you was in there, it was the longest. A minute felt like an hour. An hour felt like a day. It was nasty in there, and it was to the point where the embarrassment, like all the adults, any adults who were coming into the school reception, could look in the hall and know, that's a problematic child.
Yes.
That embarrassment,
you know,
fixed the problem for 95% of the children in that school. So when we talk about knife crime, this, that, if you make it mandatory where a man knows, yo, if I do this, there's no coming back from it. Yeah. But in the UK, people know I can come back from this.
This is it.
See, with Gambia, what we just come back from. I'm chatting to this brother in the village, and he's saying that a man was breaking into houses. What he'd do is, when the people went to work, he'd break into the house and like look for anything. He was even stealing like phone chargers and that. No, but you see when they caught this man, they got him on video. They put him around a tree, and the beating that they gave him, I don't think he's gonna do that again. Jungle business.
Sibling, you don't know how them mans and
Yeah, man,
sisters
the
get down
beat him,
in
man.
the continent. Yeah, boy.
Lick
They
him
catch-
up, just so you know what it's gonna wail. You know them permanent wails.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. Because I was like, and I remember looking and saying, "Wow, you don't." But that will teach him, innit? And not only will it teach him, another thief.
It shows, this is the public display showing, if you do this, this is going to be the consequence for your actions.
There you go. There you go. So these things are easily rectified.
Yeah, man.
Like, so when you're always gonna get here, I just broke it down in a school. You're always gonna get that 5% who won't change. But if you bring in structure, enough men are like that because they haven't been taught structure. I remember when I was younger, like a man said to me, you know, if you can't be on time, be early.
Yes, come on.
If you can't be on time, be early. You see what I'm saying? Because the time management, the way how people are speaking to adults, the way how people are conducting themselves, all these things have been building over decades. You sort out the home,
Yeah.
which is why I always say the home, the family,
Yeah.
that is the base.
This episode is sponsored by Supreme of the UK. Click the link in the description and support the broadcast.
Come on.
Of any community, because that's where it all starts from.
Yeah.
When you're raising a child, you teach them right from wrong. You teach them certain things. When the adult's
Values.
talking,
Yeah.
you say, excuse me, or you wait till the adults finish.
Yeah.
All them things have now disappeared. So because they've disappeared,
That's an
you've
excellent
got,
point.
yeah, man, you've got videos of children fighting adults,
Yeah.
parents. You've got
Yeah.
parents who don't know how to behave because they weren't ready to be a parent. They wasn't ready to be a parent. So when people talk about China, you know, like a lot of people, they've been brainwashed by the mainstream media. China has its problems, you know,
Of course, everywhere's got its problems.
but
Different
the way how
problems.
they've dealt with their thing, Noble, if you really study their thing,
Come on.
the way how they've dealt with their thing, like, yo, they ain't even know. You make a mistake over there,
It's finished. You're
you're
done.
paying for it.
Yeah, man. Hey, let's add a next dimension to this thing.
Yeah, man.
South America, Cuba, you get your ass locked up over there. It's $10 a day for your bed.
Wow.
$10 a day. So you're there. Says you're there. You're there. You rack up your hundreds. There's no telephones, nothing like that. Yeah, no telephones. No one's visiting you, nothing like that. They say, okay, it's time for you to go now. You got that $100. Because when you pay that $100, that's when you can go. Well, obviously, I haven't got it on me. You'll have to go to the bank. What about the people who ain't got the money? They're staying in that penitentiary. They're staying in. So on one hand, I think that idea and concept should be imported over here, because we're paying $20,000 a month for the pleasure of housing prisoners who have broke the law. And then they can earn canteen money, £6 a week doing menial tasks. Now, boss, they need to have a bill at the end of their stay. Okay, yeah, you got $5,000. Maybe not saying keep them in that there, but okay, when you go and find gainful employment, we need a piece of that there, man.
20%.
Yeah, man. Just like the student loan business.
Yeah, man.
And the same thing, boss. But as we're highlighting, look, these are real simple things that can be done.
Simple.
Come on, Mark. You know what I
Simple.
mean?
You can fix this thing simply. You can fix this thing very easy in terms of the direction. Now, the family structure, naturally, we know that has been under attack, and that has definitely been damaged in the Caribbean households.
Especially.
I'm going to say it just like that. It has been. It can definitely come back. 1,000, it can come back. It ain't overnight.
Oh, no.
You get it back the same way you lost it over decades. That's simple. Yeah. Like, the solution is the same fix as the problem. The problem happened over decades
Yes.
because Windrush came in. When Windrush come here, they came here as couples, most of them.
Come on.
Or if they weren't couples, it weren't long before they found someone.
Send, yeah.
Once
Or
they-
send
because-
for the husband for over or the
But you
wife
had to.
Come on.
You had to. I mean, it didn't make sense not to. You got to think their life was kind of, the Windrush generation was reduced to survival because their first, say, 20 years, 25 years, they spent in yard or wherever the case may be, because other people came from different places. But I'm talking yard specifically. You spent your first 25 years there. And then after that 25 years, you'd come to the UK. Most man, left a child or two back home
Indeed.
that they had to send for. So by the time you come here, you may have had 20 years to do whatever you needed to do. Let's keep it real. So a lot of people went back as well. So like my dad's parents was able to go back,
Give thanks.
which was what the plan was for my mom's parents. The plan was to go back eventually,
Yeah.
but they got here, they got comfortable.
Yeah.
And, you know, they didn't want to be, a lot of them grew up rough, you know. Like if you sit down, I thank God that I was able to sit down with, well, my granddad, before he died, probably a few years, probably I'd say 18 months before that, he was able to talk to me about when he was younger. You see what I'm saying? So they came up in a way where punishment and that was harsh, normal. Life was
Very
harsh for them
Yes.
when they were young. The punishment, beatings, things like that, it was difficult. So when they had children here, they didn't want to do that to them. So they would give them a lot more freedom than what they had. So their children, it was like, I'm not really going to implement what was done to me because I know what it did to me in the long run. So
Yes.
I'll give them a little bit more freedom to kind of do what it is that they need to do, which is why a lot of that generation became school teachers, nurses,
Yes.
things of that, because they were supported for the most part. That leniency that generation gave to our parents created what we see going on today,
Unfortunately.
because they were now extra lenient.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm gonna, you know, it's way easier. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give them things without working for it. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna
Yes.
do that. So I remember in school, and I've said these things before, you'd have, in my era of school, I'd come into school and I'd just have like a very humble, normal pair of trainers. Reason for that was because my parents had to buy, at some points, 4 other pairs of shoes.
Come on, Mark.
So, yo, you can't get no Air Max with air bubble and all that. Because I need
Come
to do
on.
this times 4.
Come
At
on.
times 5, I need to get yours. Then I need to get your sisters, this one, that one, this one. Then I need
Yeah.
coats. Then I need this. So then you'd go into school and then the man who had on the bad boy 110s, air bubble, all of that, his mom was a single mom.
I know.
So
Yeah.
if you looked at like that, so big up my bedroom, Vaughan again. Vaughan came from a 2-parent household also. So he was like me. You see him coming to school. Yo, how my dad would do it is he's looking at the best built pair of shoes that will last.
That's old school
Yeah,
sibling.
it's not based on brand or none of that. You know, like you'd see man wearing Rockports 175 and
I know.
I had a pair that my mom got from the catalogue once. She got it from the catalogue once, but I think it was like £8 a week or something daft
Hey,
like that.
but Mark,
Yeah.
I'm glad you bring that up.
keep
Let me
these
just
things
put a hold on your build right there.
Yeah, man.
You see, just that, and I was thinking, so the discipline, the structure that does by having your Goodman's catalog, by having your K's catalog, and seeing the item that you don't have the money to buy outright, In the shop, it's the 110. In the Goodman's or the K's, it's going to be 130. So you know you're paying £20 over the odds for the pleasure, or for the not pleasure, for the opportunity of purchasing those trainers, that bike, whatever the item is. But you know you've got to structure that thing over the 38 weeks, right? Over the 20 weeks, over the 52 weeks. Okay, it's £2.75 a week. It's this a week, and you're able to then say, okay, out of my pocket money, I'm gonna budget that thing so I can get that item.
There you
that
go.
structure enabled you to do what? To manage money.
Money management. Like, a man didn't know that that's what it was, but when you look back, it was money management. So the reason why I'm saying all of this is because I'm saying, man in school, latest 110s, man's got the baddest jacket on, you know what I mean? But then he's in the dinner ticket queue. No, I'm just showing you how the world works.
Yeah.
But then he's going into the dinner ticket, so you got the latest everything.
Yeah.
You're in the dinner ticket, and people don't think I'm saying this like I'm shaming no one. I'm just trying to show you how the UK works.
Mark, I was in a dinner ticket queue. Yeah? Continue.
Okay, so dinner ticket queue, man's are wearing latest trainers, latest jackets, but dinner ticket queue. Then you got the latest, but then your mum's in council housing.
Mm-hmm.
So then I remember thinking about it like, wow, like, okay, my parents can't or won't buy me these things that I want, because I did want these things and I did think it was unfair.
Of course, at the time.
At the time, when you look back now, it was not unfair. It was actually very well executed. But
Yes.
I'd look back and say, I'd be like, damn, I ain't got these. This man's got it, that man's got it.